Right now, your business is probably doing quite well. You've got nice cash flow, you've got nice customers, and for a lot of you, you probably maybe not have had done a lot to bring them come in the door. A rising tide lifts all ships, and when it's in, everybody's swimming. It's fantastic. But I've got a question for you. What would happen if all of a sudden that started to change? Things started to recede, or things started to go back slowly, or the tide did change and the economy changed, and all of a sudden you need to preserve your current customers and your cash flow. What would you do? How would you cope? Would you be like some businesses that really don't cope? Or would you actually be like some businesses and take it as an opportunity to flourish and do better? A good friend of mine is a clinical psychologist, and he reminds his clients often about the statement from Charles Darwin. It's simply this: it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, it's those that are most responsive to change. So I'm Sam, I'm a business coach, and I want the best for your business. And the best thing I can actually give you at the moment is to make sure that you're change ready. So I want to give you some actually a fourth one as well, tips on what you can do to start being totally prepared for any changes that may or if they happen, and what you can do to make sure you preserve your current cash flow, your lifestyle, and your profits. So first one is lead generation. Now, what I want you to do is to make sure, a number of you have probably got an online presence. If you haven't, you have to. So make sure you got your website, you got a Facebook page, or some kind of digital presence. Now, I want you to make sure that you test everything on those pages. Make sure the links work, the opt-in forms are correct. You're capturing key information. When someone hits that send button on the opt-in form, it goes to a relevant email. You see it, you capture it. Nothing slips through the cracks. I've lost track of how many people have got dead links or emails that are not correct, or even phone numbers, some cases, that don't work. So one thing I'm going to suggest to you is look at your website like a mystery shopper with an independent set of eyes looking at it for the first time, and make sure that everything works really nicely and nothing gets dropped off. Second thing I want you to do is to make sure you've got a process that's systematized. So when a lead enters into your world, it follows through exactly what's supposed to happen. So whatever you say to your prospect, there's a time that you'll get back to them. Make sure someone gets back to them. You allocate the function to somebody, someone does that thing. If you need to have a form sent to them, make sure you've got a process where that form goes out. At the end of that call, make sure there's a call to action, or you know what that next step is. Don't just leave it to chance. Take control of it, make sure it flows into your system, and that it's absolutely spot on. At times when you have some downturn rather, you've got to look at within, look at your own customers. Your own database and your own existing customers are your valuable source. They love you, right? So make sure you know that you love them, and say that you're still around, that you value them, and you want to ask them, what can we do better to serve you? You may get more opportunities for business, but also you can incentivize your customers. You can say, give them a lead referral program, or some kind of loyalty program that they're able to then pass that on to others, and they can get a reward or a discount or something of that nature. Key element. And finally, my last point is that make sure you look after your people. In a time of change, they're your most valuable asset. Keep making sure that you consider their well-being, their mental well-being. Make sure that they know that they're important just as well. And that way, they'll help you support your journey. They'll help you support their business. They'll not only know that they're important, but they'll actually contribute to the growth of your business. You may offer incentives to keep them as the top talent that they are, so that they don't go elsewhere, but you may offer incentives to help them get you more business or more customers, or help you in the process. So Richard Branson has a famous saying. He says, you look after your people and they'll look after your customers. So I'm Sam. I hope that's helped. I love your feedback, and do all you can to make sure those couple of tips are actioned, and you've got a better position to work towards the future. All the best.